Let's go. Yes, yes, yes. All right, here we go. Fun time is over. I got to admit, I can't believe it. I cannot believe that this is going on. Once again, well, we'll let everybody get in. Even I am surprised. Yep, that is exactly right. That is exactly right. Folks, share that you are watching. Thank you, Robin. I'm aware it's 4:14. This is what you call emergency live stream. I can't well, actually I can believe actually. Let me just share this. Folks, remember you can type in someone's name, share that you're watching. This is an emergency live stream based on what just took place this afternoon. And as many of you know that you've been watching over the past 2 days, especially yesterday, we'll let everybody come in. I am once again floored, folks. And there's Evelyn. Hello, there's Froggy. That is exactly right, Anthony Santos. Yep. Thank you very much, Steve. Yes. Amazing. Let everybody file in a little bit more. What's up? Well, if you saw yesterday, we broke the news, right? What was the news we broke on Saturday? Now, folks, I want to wait. We're almost there. We're at 52. Thank you very much, Don Bradford. Folks, unbelievable. And I want to share with you, um, because this was a last second press conference, I want to share something with you that's really important. There's Jay, there's Ann and Pamela. The numbers climb. There's Matt. Recognize we're a little early. Wait a minute. I thought you'd do it at night. We may do it tonight, but we're doing it right now because people need to know that is exactly right. Exactly what's going on. There's Gene. Well, now we're at 79, Farah. Good afternoon, Dave. 80. We continue to climb. There's Kathy Connors. Yep. And then back to 76. All right. Remember, you can type in someone's name or share. I'm going to share with you in just a moment. Hi there, Lauren Wilson. Hola, one and all. 80, 78. I don't know why we'd be going down. I haven't said anything yet. I'm about to give you important info. Maybe we'll just launch now. We'll just start. Just like in Glengarry, Glen Ross. Hi there, Andrew. When he's like, all right, I'm going to go. 83. There we go. There's Nancy McCormick. Where's Patty Ann Cicerone? Ann? There's Ann. That's exactly right. Thank you, Lynn Miller. Now, folks, just to rewind the clock, it's important. I want to tell you, um, but I'm going to start. I'm going to do it in order. I'm going to do it in order. So let's go to Saturday. Let's go to Saturday. There was the original post. There it is. Where is it? DePetro.com. McKee Nightmare, January 20th. Can 195 bridge be saved? Saturday, during the day, in daylight. There it is. You can see the posting. It's the first time we use the word full demo, complete demolition of 195. This was Saturday. Let's go through the list. I don't know if we need to. Did Channel 10 have it? No. Did Channel 12? No. Listen, none of them did. We know they don't work weekends. Now, that was Saturday. Let's go to yesterday. Now, we did a big live stream emergency yesterday. This was in the midst of breaking the story on what happened, the brutal murder, execution style, Friday night in Pawtucket, right on the sidewalk. Yesterday, here's DePetro.com. East Providence mayor confirms bridge may get demolished. Not everyone got that. When I shared that on Sunday, some people were saying, what are you talking about? He's saying that it's not decided. You're missing the larger point. But this is really important. The mayor of East Providence, and I want to thank Lynn Miller for insight, he weighed in There it is. DePietro.com. What's the date? Saturday. No, excuse me. January 21st was yesterday. There's Governor McGreed with him. And I lay out the whole thing. So now stay with me now. This was yesterday. We did the live stream yesterday about Mayor De Silva. And I posted. He said Saturday night, this is Mayor De Silva now, the mayor of East Providence. I called and spoke with the Rhode Island Department of Transportation Director Peter Alviti at home Saturday night after I read DePietro.com. So we have it all laid out with the bridge. Again, I talk about full demo, right? So this morning, other media trying to steal the work. Some use the word plagiarize. One person even said, as embarrassing as this is, but I really want to get to what just happened an hour ago. One member of the media said, well, I'd heard about it on Friday, but I didn't do anything with it. Let me just give you a quick shortcut here, folks. That is the equivalent. Hello, Jose, or I should say hola. There's Gene Capuano. That is the equivalent of a tree falling in the forest. If you know about something and then you don't do anything, there's no difference between you and someone that doesn't know about it. But I just laid out the timeline. Saturday, DePietro.com, we break the story that it's full demo. Now I'm hearing $5 billion, 3 years. I then heard 5 years, 7 to 8 billion. Not confirmed yet. However, so it started Saturday with our post, right? De Silva sees it, calls Alviti at home Saturday night. I then post, see, I told you, full demo coming, 195 Washington Bridge. Ready? So this morning, other media, late to the game, that's fine, nothing new. Thank you, Joe. I just hope, here's the thing, as long as you, followers, supporters, subscribers, as long as you guys know the truth. Like now I'm seeing it starting to fly everywhere, right? Someone just said, I was just notified by DOT. No, you weren't. They didn't send out any notification. And this morning, there's Justin, the plagiarist. I mean, that's embarrassing, right? That suddenly now, but whatever. But here's the part I can't get over. So just last hour, Governor McKee. Now, I just laid out for you the timeline, right? It started Saturday. There's Jonna. There's Darcy. Oh, good. 155. We can get to 200. Thank you, Matt. You deserve the truth. There's Diane. But here's the part, folks. And part of me wants to apologize. So now I'm not making excuses. I'm not making excuses. But I'm just like way behind on certain things because, all right, I had cancer surgery, right? Feeling much better now, but I'm still like playing catch up with things. So McGreed, Governor McKee, Coach, and Peter Alviti, they have a press conference they announce at 2:45. Now, here's the thing. I am telling you, from now on, when I know, I will drop everything. Now, the reason I couldn't, it was pushed off. I hate to cancel if I was the one that scheduled it. I can't stand that. I don't like when people do that to me. If someone books time with me, I don't like when they cancel because I'm like, all right, hold on, let me make sure I get this straight. You wanted to see me. I blocked off the time. Now you're canceling? That should never work that way. But anyhow, so I didn't go. But here's the part that I want to really impress upon you. And I mean it. I don't care. Listen, PRO, they're ripping me off. The TV station's ripping me off. No, thank you, Joseph. But here's the part. Thank you. I am recovering well. I appreciate that. There's Ryan Masterson. Folks, here's the part that I'm telling you, I'm trying to New Year's resolution. 1, stay calm. Stop flying off the handle, right? Stop being a maniac. Let's keep things under control. I have my nice just angels prayer trying to give me, that is a New Year's resolution. Trying to get into the power. But here's the part that I can understand. Not one person, I'll just cut to the chase because I still can't believe it. Not one reporter there. Journal, 10, 12, Boston Globe, 6, whoever. Not one, Alviti's there. Not one reporter said Director Alviti, East Providence Mayor Bob DeSilva, who, by the way, wasn't there, because I've learned that Governor McKee is pissed at him for posting that. Livid. Livid. I don't blame the mayor of East Providence. Hey, he's being asked questions. Thank you for that, Chris. There's our friend. He's back. All is well. But hear me out. Chris will appreciate this. Folks, first question. All right, let's pretend. All right, and you have my word next time. I'm going. I mean, I'll just rearrange. First question should have been Director Alviti. The mayor of East Providence claims he called you Saturday night. Now, I want you to think about this, folks. This wasn't during the workday. This is a mayor of East Providence calling Peter Alviti at home Saturday night. That doesn't happen often. Probably it's never happened. There's things that tell us. Number one, I heard that the mayor had to be, the way I heard it, talked down off the ledge. Number two, that's number one. Number two, he was told to lower his voice, which meant that's the way. How would you interpret that? When I hear that, I interpret that he was yelling. So, all right, I need you to calm down. Inside voice, something I used to do with my kids. And he was talked down off the ledge. But here's the part I don't understand. Now, one member of the media asked Alviti, the director of DOT, to confirm that the mayor of East Providence, that his version happened that way. Let me just explain. That's his version of what happened. Maybe Peter Alviti says, now hold on a minute. I saw that post, and that's not my recollection of what happened. Or maybe Governor McKee says, listen, here's what he didn't say. He didn't say we were trying to reach him all week. Peter Alviti could have said, hey, I've been calling that guy for a week. He wouldn't call me back. And then he called me Saturday night. Like, there's no context at all. Now, not one member of the whole press conference. No, granted. Listen, I'm not the delusional one. I'm actually very excited Chris Moran is back in the fold. Valued member of Team One. I'm wearing my special hat for him. But here's the part. Folks, what about Verify? That's one guy's version. I would say, director, can I want to hear your version of that conversation Saturday night, right? Like what we saw what he said. What is your recollection of it? That's number one. Number two, with McGreed standing right there. Now, I have heard, and I don't know if I believe it. I have heard. Who wants to hear it? There's Janice. There's Josh Allen, Cody. All right, Brenda, find someone that can help. There's Bridget. There's Joe. Yes. Unbelievable. Folks, I mean, yeah, Kathy. But you tell me, right? Like, this is basic. But all right, now, in all fairness, the person that gave me this, I'm not 100% positive. I wish it were true, but I would have asked it. Someone may know where I'm going at this. I did hear it, that the mayor of East Providence first called the governor, but as you know, didn't want to be interrupted during a game of Where My Glasses, Goldfish with the mother. Like, how many times is this going to happen? These people, is he the governor? Is he a gambling junkie? A degenerate? What? Now, again, I want to be really clear. I don't have that nailed down. I'm not surprised, but that could have been a chance to ask that. So here's the most important thing. Yes, that's right. There's Martha Stamp. Good. There's Nancy. Folks, I want to be fair. I mean, you start with that. I'm not being unfair. I'm not being out of bounds. I want you to understand this. I'm not taking something random for a long time ago. Listen, I'm not saying, hey, not one of them said, according to, right, DePietro. I'm like past that. I don't even expect that. It's not that. But what I can't get over, the whole reason, and I want you to understand this, the whole reason the governor and the director of DOT were standing there today, really, was because of what the East Providence mayor posted. So just so you all know the timeline, I posted. That's what I'm hearing. Full demo, full demolition. The whole thing's coming down. The mayor of East Providence responds to it publicly. Now, I've heard McKee is livid at him for doing that. I then say, see, I told you, he confirmed. Full demo. The whole reason they had the press conference today was because those chain of events. All right, I'm going to remove, just so you guys understand, right? It's the chosen one, not the egomaniac one. I'm going to remove myself. Let's just say we're going to forget what I posted on Saturday. We're going to forget what I posted on Sunday, even though you really can't, because my posting is what motivated De Silva. But nonetheless, let's just remove me. At the very least, how do you not ask the question, Director Alviti, can you confirm, number one, the mayor of East Providence called you Saturday night? He claims he did. Highly unusual. How long were you on the phone? He claimed the following, that it's all still being studied, haven't reached a decision yet. And then he put the odd posting, the mayor, that if they decide for full demolition, it will be the right decision, which I don't understand, because it already sounds like you're trying to lay the groundwork for us, right? I don't know if we're going to do it, but if they do, it'll be the right decision. If you don't know, why would you know that it was the right decision? That does not make sense to me. The opportunity to ask the question was right there. Here's another thing. Why wasn't De Silva there? I've heard it's because McKee is pissed. That's what I heard. Again, no one asked that. I can't believe it, folks. I can't. Oh, he's in full damage control. Full. He stepped up. Hi, everybody. I'm Governor McGreed. Here's Peter Alviti. He's like the opening act. He's like an MC. Now put your hands together for, here's, ladies and gentlemen, Beaver Brown. Like that. Like, what is the point? And then, again, thank you, Chris Moran. I didn't hear that. I didn't physically, but I was told that. The cackle, I knew, but I sat on it. Yeah, because here's a question. What else are you sitting on? That is so preposterous. Listen, that person is a pathological liar. I mean, I know for a fact. How do you say that? Oh, I knew. I just didn't say anything about it. Well, as I said, it is the equivalent of not knowing, right? I knew the lottery number, but I just chose not to play. No, that's ludicrous, but I sat on it. Yeah, because that's always a pretty good rule. You have information, you know about it, you just don't say anything to the public. I think a fair question would be, what else are you sitting on? What else are you not telling people? I mean, this is just pathetic. There's our Martha. Yes, and there's Gail. Folks, just unbelievable. Yeah, go fish. He didn't have his coach's whistle at the press conference. That's right. Oh, is that the game plan? I also, folks, so I'm getting some pushback. What time is it? We're never on at this time, 4:32. Now, here's some things that I'm being told. I'm being very unfair to the McKee people. I don't think so, right? He was laying low. The guy is a wreck. State of the state was a mess. Here's something. See, they're trying to float out trial balloons, right? So I think he's actually not the governor. He's the coach. We're not citizens. It's Team Rhode Island. He doesn't have a plan. It's a game plan. Like, when does this, frankly, bullshit with this sports stuff end? Like, do we have to live this way? If he had done that, first of all, I didn't vote for the guy, but I wish he had done that on the campaign trail. If you didn't do it on the campaign trail, you can't like roll it out now, right? But here's the part where I push back on his aides, because they're saying this to people. So, and people are trying to reach out to me like, you're being very rough. See if this makes any sense to you. This is a McKee trial balloon. The traffic on 195, it's actually a good thing because it gives the appearance of a lot of economic activity in the state. So they were trying to say, look at New York, look at LA, heavy traffic. So it's actually a good thing because then it gives the appearance of like, wow, there must be a lot going on here, as opposed to, here's what I was asked. Oh, do you want it to be a ghost town? No one on the road? Excuse me. New York and LA, and even Boston for that matter. And anyone, I've traveled to every major city. Chicago has terrible traffic. You know, what's horrible traffic is Atlanta. Atlanta has brutal traffic. But here's the thing. No, that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. That doesn't give the appearance of economic activity. It gives the appearance, actually, it's not even the appearance. It shows incompetence in a parking lot. There's nothing good about that. The people of New York, there's Angie, they have no choice but to sit in that. Yeah, why don't we put fake cars on the road with dummies and mannequins in them? That is absurd. Oh, you're being negative. It gives no, excuse me, traffic. There's nothing, how can I say, there's nothing enjoyable about traffic. It doesn't say to people, wow, boy, there must be a lot going on in this town with all this traffic. No, it's a turnoff. It's a complete turnoff. Not one reporter, not only did they not ask that the mayor of East Providence called the DOT director on Saturday night, not one of them asked them about the situation with Massachusetts officials are claiming that they're getting a lot of complaints with Cape Cod and tourism for Cape Cod, and what they're very frightened about is that this is going to really impact them for the summer. Again, I'm not saying there had to be 10 questions. I'm not saying there have to be 5 questions. How is there not one question? Folks, and I want to level with you. Admittedly, when I saw, like, oh, wow, all right, so I have a meeting set up. I'm playing catch up from the cancer surgery. I could cancel and go to the DOT. Governor McGreed, deal me in for the presser with the coach. Yeah. But yeah, oh, Jesse's watching this sitting in traffic. So that's right, Lynn Miller. Uh, I want to be. I'm trying to be transparent. Um, if I did assume, I'm sure someone would ask about the mayor of East Providence, since that's what's kicked off the whole thing. The media. Here's the part that irks me. The media allowed them to trot out there as if, oh, we're just doing, a DOT 195 press briefing. It wasn't planned. They didn't even have it this morning. They announced it at 1:45 or 2 o'clock. At 2 o'clock, they announced at 2:45 we're going to have a press conference. Ridiculous. Now, listen, I'm not going to be egomaniac. They did it so they knew that I would not be able to attend. I'm not going to say that. I'm not saying anyone needed to reference the reporting we did over the weekend. I'm not even saying that. I just don't believe you have the director standing right there. Maybe he wanted to be asked a question. You don't know. Maybe Director Alviti was going to say, I saw that, and that's not what happened, and that was not our conversation. You don't know that. Maybe Director Alviti would have said, oh, there's Elizabeth. Maybe he would have said, first of all, that was Friday night. It wasn't Saturday. That's number one. Number two, we were trying to reach him for several days, and he wasn't getting back to us. So when he called, I took the call because of that. Maybe Governor McKee chips in and says, he else didn't post is I told him to call. I was talking to him. I was briefing him, right? The McKee people, what do they say? They say he doesn't return, meaning De Silva, he doesn't return phone calls. And they have a hard time reaching him sometimes. I'm not saying that's true. I'm not saying that's the case. I think, if anything, the guy's very visible on social media. The mayor of East Providence, he posts more on social media, more than any other mayor. That's for sure. I don't know, whatever that's worth. But what I don't understand is, Joe, is I just don't understand how you don't ask that. And I wonder if Peter Alviti was standing there waiting for someone to say, because many times they could say, I'm glad you asked that question. That SOB, that is not what I said. He took what I said out of context. I couldn't believe when I saw that. And frankly, I'm upset about it. And that's not why he's not here today. Zero. Nothing. There's Ed Pyers. So, folks, just bottom line. And I also want to address this, that the rest of the media also, oh, no, they're saying it could, well, it's not 3 months. I told you it wasn't 3 months. Here's the part that can't be stated enough. And this is not a knock on Peter Alviti. It's really I'll tell you, the one they're upset with is the mayor of East Providence, De Silva. But again, see, I can see it both ways. I can see he feels he was left out of the loop. He feels he's not getting the truth. He feels the McKee people are not keeping him up to date. That's his opinion. So he's not getting straight answers. He's getting asked a lot of questions. He's not getting straight answers. No one's been impacted more than East Providence. Has Providence been impacted? Yes. The rest of the East Bay, of course. Seekonk, everything. But the one that's really been just crushed is East Providence. And as Justin Katz mentioned today, what's so difficult is you just don't know. Sometimes it's 20-minute delay. Sometimes it's an hour delay. It's the unpredictable that is driving people nuts, right? It's not like, hey, it's a sunny day in July and it's 90 degrees and there's not a cloud in the sky and it's a Saturday or Sunday. And you're thinking, okay, if we leave right now early, we can beat the beach traffic. Otherwise, we might as well wait till later because we're going to be stuck in traffic. The problem with 195 Washington Bridge is, who knows? Maybe you cruise right through, maybe you don't. But the part that can't be underestimated is the part that I have harped on and I have posted on and we wrote about is there was and just if you're in business, you'll appreciate this. There was only one way that conversation. I know, Kristen. Is that amazing? Years. Could be 5 years. Could be 5 years of a parking lot. They don't they don't know. And then, I mean it's I don't know. I'm just going off. First I heard 3 years, 5 billion. Then someone said, no way. 5 years, 8 billion. I don't know. That's almost half the state budget. So, but yeah, look at that, Stephanie. And McKee doesn't want to hear about it. Here's the part that if you're in business, you'll understand this. When Mayor De Silva panicked, that's what I heard, and called Director of DOT Peter Alviti Saturday night. If you're reasonable and in the know, there's only one way that Peter Alviti was going to handle that conversation, which is to calm the guy down and then just tell him, we don't have a full, like nothing's been decided right now. So, I mean, there's no other, I mean, and as I said earlier, so is there anyone that would think that, hi there, guy, right? Like, let's just back up for a moment, right? Let's just say, let's just say, just for a moment, humor me. You're the director of DOT, okay? The governor has said, not a word, loose lips, right? If you say a word that we have to full demolish this thing, blow it up. We will be live streaming that, by the way, and build a new bridge. If you tell one person you're out, I will fire you on Sunday, on Monday, whatever. If you tell anyone, so you're trying to keep it a secret. Suddenly, De Silva calls Saturday night. He's hot. He's yelling into the phone. He's got to be calmed down. He's talking a mile a minute, and they got to talk him off the bridge. If you're told by McKee, listen, as you can imagine, McKee, I'm not sure what we're going to do yet, but don't tell anyone and don't say anything. If you tell anyone, you're fine. Like, McKee's unbelievably paranoid about leaks. So he's a paranoid guy to begin with, let alone this. If you're the director of DOT, the way I just laid out for you, you get that phone call. Here's where, if you're the mayor of East Providence, like, do you really think he's going to say, so I meant to tell you earlier. I know it's Saturday night at whatever time, it's 8:30, 9 o'clock. I guess I think we forgot to tell you. Yeah, we are going to demolish. I mean, it's never happening. He's not telling him that. That's insanity. He's not going to tell him that. He's going to just, hey, chill out. Right? Now, they didn't tell him, and don't post anything about this. Right? He didn't do that. So then De Silva's like, I just got off the phone with Peter Alvini. Ignored DePietro.com. I have found out they're not decided on the demolition yet. Well, again, just to be realistic, folks, like Peter Alvini, Peter's not a young guy. He's been around, he's experienced, he's been through a lot. He wasn't going to say, just between us, right? Don't say anything. Don't tell McKee I told you. But, yeah, we're going to have to debate. Are you kidding? De Silva would be like, wow, we'd freak. Who wouldn't freak? But that's where this whole business of De Silva posting it, that is what really freaked them. That's what really got it. Yes, that's right, Kathy. There's Jared and Ed and Stephanie. So, I mean it. I don't have an answer on that. Hi there, Chris. I just want to back up just for a moment. I honestly, I don't have an answer for you on why. Here's the only thing I can think of. Now, listen. My loyalty is to you. That's who I really report to and answer, technically. I don't care. The rest of the media think I'm rough, I'm too critical, uh, my live stream is too raw, right? Like I show it unfiltered, I show the language, I get the whole thing, right? There's resentment. We're standing at a scene. More people know who I am than these young unknown reporters. If people watch my stuff, they don't have to watch the news at night. Like I get the whole thing. They're also the local press. They're all Biden supporters. They know I voted Trump twice. They know I'll vote Trump again. So there's a built-in animosity. But my belief is they were so fearful that they would have had to reference DePietro.com that they felt like we're not even going to ask about De Silva, which makes no sense because that's what put that whole thing in motion. So I think that's weak. I don't understand it. Because it is a mess. He's in a tough spot. There's David Sarmatino. I'm telling you, Lynn Miller. I'll tell you this again. I want to be very clear. I know people have very strong feelings against the mayor of East Providence. I don't live there, so I don't. I've said I've conversed with his staff. They were friendly. I deal with the police. They're great with me. These Providence police are fantastic. Um, when I've encountered the mayor, he was cordial. So I don't have an axe to grind on him. But I'll say that same thing with the mayor of Providence, by the way. The mayor of Providence is in a tough spot. Where I feel for those two mayors, the rest have town managers, right? The East Bay, you start to then get into town managers. But where the mayor of East Providence, Mayor De Silva, and then Mayor Smiley, they're in a tough spot because the governor's not leveling with them, and they know it. Smiley, Mayor Smiley, it's not your imagination. I enjoy a good rapport with him. I enjoy covering his administration much better than Alorza. This can't be easy for them because they know they're not getting the full truth from McKee. I think that's a tough situation to be in. And as a matter of fact, I know it is. So as a result of that, they're hesitant to say a lot because McKee, at the drop of a hat, he will throw somebody under the bus. I mean, the guy is there's no backbone there, spineless. Here's the real situation with Rhode Island Governor Coach Dan McKee. I didn't say this is not an easy situation. This is a tough situation. This is a major roadway. He didn't invent it. But what we're already seeing is he's not built for this. He doesn't have the skill set for this. It would take a certain type. We're not going to go with this rah-rah BS, right? We're all part of Team Rhode Island and he's the coach. Spare me. What is this? All hands in the middle. He is. He just is. Thank you very much, Renee. It's going to be, well, you don't get censored. It goes beyond that, Gene. Did the young engineer the issue get fired? It was a new firm brought in because the other firm, Cardi, was getting cited so much by the feds, they basically went out of business. A new firm was brought in. They're like, Are you guys kidding me? Like, what's with the tape? Holy cow! Who's building this bridge? Helen Keller or Ray Charles? Like, are you kidding me? What? This is disgraceful. Was Beetlejuice building this? This is crazy. He is, Ann, telling you. Thank you, Lynn Miller. But I mean it, folks. Now, if I had gone, that's what I would have asked. Notice if you saw it, they were only giving people one question, and I think maybe a follow up. But I would have liked to hear that. Director Elvidi, the mayor of East Providence, said he called you Saturday night. Can you tell us about that conversation? And I'd like to just hear your version, of how that conversation went. I'd start there. And then the fact that Magritte is standing there. My God, this guy with the card game. Holy cow. Folks, I'll tell you this. If I was ever the governor, at no point would I say, don't interrupt me once we start the card game. What are they playing for? How much down is he, right? In betting with the mother. How much is he into her for? That now he can't even. I mean, maybe the whole I mean, again, he wouldn't be the first one. Gambling, let me say this, gambling is an addiction. And it's a tough addiction. And I have interviewed people that had serious gambling problems, and they'll tell you they lost their house, they lost their family, they lost their job, they lost their car. I mean, we're talking about someone that's to me that's not a casual card game. If if you're telling, Governor, the ACI is on the phone. There's a riot. I just told you I'm not to be disturbed during this card game. Governor, the Mayor of East Providence is on. He's in a panic. Yes, that's right, Glenn. Pinochle. Holy cow. There's Jane Rice. Roll of quarters. My God. I mean, at this point, I'm just suggesting. Here's the thing. I'm not going to use the word intervention. I'm not even using the word intervention. I'm just saying many times it wouldn't hurt for a family member to invite someone over. Oh, I don't know, Gamblers Anonymous, right? Just see if you get the ball rolling. Are there common traits? Is gambling affecting your life? These high stake card games in the kitchen in Cumberland, where then I would regard, first of all, the ACI was kind of a red flag, right? I mean, you had a riot at the ACI. I'm not to be disturbed. And then now you have the mayor of East Providence having a meltdown. Now, in fairness to the governor, maybe De Silva's calling a couple times. Oh, him again? We just tell him, we got something else going on. Oh, God, this guy, right? I don't know. In fairness to the governor. So, thank you, Steve. Well, I disagree with that. He's no better than Gina. There's Audrey Albert. I knew it was a matter of time. I'll no, actually, I'll say this about Raimondo. There was no mystery of who was in charge. Put it that way. Listen, you didn't have to like Raimondo. She is the Commerce Secretary. She did meet with the head of China. You may not have liked Raimondo, and I disagreed with so many of her policies, but she ran a tight ship, right? You don't have to like someone to at least respect the way they run the organization. She didn't have, I'm really going to push back on that, and I'm disappointed I have to do that. But when I see statements like that, you don't have to like her, but she wasn't surrounded by the clowns that McKee is. We never heard that Raimondo couldn't be disturbed because of a card game. I'll say that. So yeah, can you imagine, Chris? So Gaetano, I really, and I hate when I have to defend someone like Raimondo, but that's not. I mean, come on, he's in a different category here. He's Captain Wishy Wash, right? I mean, he's Mr. Spineless here. So listen, how about? But what makes it worse is like you can't call them because oh Christ, they probably started the card game already. Like now there's gonna have to wait till tomorrow or Monday. All right, listen, folks. As I said, check out depetro.com. And I'm very happy. Well, I knew we were right. Believe me, I'm not holding my breath. Of course, they're never going to say that, and I'll even tell you why. If they were to say that I was right about full demolition of the bridge, they would open up the door to what else am I right about? Am I right about the fact that they cater to BLM? Am I right about the fact that they're all, Biden supporters? Am I right about the fact that local press that they don't like to talk or cover anything to do with illegal immigration? They don't want to. All right, if we say he's right about that, that could open up the door of people like, well, what else is he right about? So, but what I can't get over is so they do a whole news blackout, and they don't even mention the mayor of East Providence. That's the part. All right, let's see what happens. It's just 5 o'clock. I'm gonna have an early dinner. I think we'll be back tonight. I'm not sure. Maybe something will develop. But folks, again, I can't say it enough. We do have another posting coming on DePietro.com. I want to be also very clear. I take no joy in telling you the news about this. I feel terrible for the people in the East Bay. I feel terrible for everybody. I feel terrible for us. We cover stories in the East Bay. This is the gang that couldn't shoot straight, and it's more than obvious to me. Look at how I think. All right, someone will ask the question. From now on, I guess once again I have to go to every briefing, or they don't even ask it. Read Saturday, read Sunday. You decide who broke the story first. Folks, we'll see. We may be back for One After Dark. And as always, remember, just angels.